Hello, it's Lord Slaw here, and today we're talking about the top 5 Dalek stories. So, the Daleks are undoubtedly Doctor Who's most famous villain, and rightly so. They were like the second ever story, and also, the first alien we encountered, and they were designed really well. It was a good concept, and they were scary. Well, they have been mistreated in some episodes, especially in the newer ones, considering they haven't killed anybody that wasn't a robot or a Dalek since season 5, I think. It's kind of bad. Because, the whole point of Daleks is that they're mercilessly killing people. I don't know. I haven't enjoyed the latest Dalek stories, and they've been ruining the lore a bit, but oh well. Let's talk about the good stuff today, though, with the good Dalek stories. Don't just get it right, the one where the Daleks are killing people, killing themselves, all of that good stuff which you expect to see in a Dalek episode. And so let's see the top 5 of them. So at number 5 we have Remembrance of the Daleks. So some people might be a bit mad that this is like quite low down because a lot of people love this story and I really understand why. It was the first story in the Sylvester McCoy era to really wow people. To be honest, the first actual good one because season 24 was arse. I mean, sure, after this we had Great Show of the Galaxy in the entirety of season 26, but still, it was the first good story and just everything that was bad about season 24 went out the window. The Doctor was dark and mysterious. There was more powerful and emotional scenes. There was lots of action with bodies flying everywhere, Daleks shooting each other. The special weapons Dalek is such a good idea for a Dalek. It's a shame we haven't had it back in its full glory. I mean, sure, we've had it spin around in a couple of episodes, but that's not how you do fan service, Stephen. Like, you don't do fan service like that, just having them spin around in the background. Cough, cough, Asylum of the Daleks and Magician's Apprentice. They have to actually do something. But that's a point for another day. Let's talk about Remembrance of the Daleks and how amazing it is. It's a great story. It's got a really good one, great plot. Everything's acted well. McCoy's performance is stellar. I like all the characters, and yeah, so that's why it comes in at number 5. So at number 4 we have the Daleks master plan. So even though this story's a mixed bag, it still makes it a number 4 for me because what's in that mixed bag is something really special. I mean, episodes 1 to 6, which were written by Terry Nation, are absolutely fantastic. Like, that's some of the best Doctor Who, like, in, like, full stop. Like, episodes 1 to 6 of Dalek's Master Plan are absolutely brilliantly written. They have you on the edge of your seat, and, it's got that heartfelt wonder and atmosphere, and it's just done really well. And it's a shame that most of it's missing because it's a joy to watch. And episodes 2 and 5, which you do have, they so work. But even with reconstructions, you're on the edge of your seat, and it just works really well. And the Daleks chasing around the Doctor. Sure, it was done in the chase, but it's done properly here. I almost feel like this was an apology for how crap the chase was by actually making a really, really good one. The only problem is episodes 7, 8, and 9 are crap. Like, Dennis Spooner took over the writing for the next 6 episodes because it's a 12 episode, and they were crap. But the thing is, you can literally cut out all of those episodes, and it won't make a difference to the plot. Like, nothing happens in them apart from they meet the monk. But then the monk comes in later on anyway, and to be honest, it doesn't really need the introduction, but because it's done chitly, and there's no Daleks. Like, 7, 8, and 9 are almost Dalekless, but episodes 10, 11, and 12, however, they're also brilliantly written and are about on par with episodes 1 to 6. And Dennis Spooner did do a good job of them. I just feel it didn't need to be 12 parts. It should have been 9 parts long. But this is not one of those ones where all the episodes are dragged out. It's one of those ones where just there's a few episodes which didn't need to be there, but the rest is paced excellently. So if they cut those episodes out and made it a 9-parter, it would be like probably my favourite Dalek story, but unfortunately, because of the bit in the middle, it kind of drags it down, but it's still a masterpiece and still a great watch despite the fact that it's missing. So at number 3, we have my favourite New Who episode, Dalek. Dalek's such a good story. I mean, it just can't be denied. Rob Sherman is a genius, and he's written some great stuff for Big Finish, and this is his only contribution to the TV series of Doctor Who, which I implore you, Rob, come back. Please, write us another masterpiece, at least for Big Finish, maybe even for the TV series, because you're great at it, and we all love you. But why is this episode so good? It just works. The Dalek gets out and goes on a killing spree. It's like, because it's showing to a new audience, like, because this has been in series 1 of New Who, where some people may not have known what a Dalek was. I mean, I know I didn't. I was only 6, and this is my first experience with Doctor Who. It showed us how dangerous the Daleks were, and really set up for the finale great when you're like, so, oh shit, there's loads of them. Well, if just one of them could kill all those people. And plus the way in which it kills them, like when it makes the ground sprinkle with water and electrifies everybody, it's just like, that was a really inventive way of killing people. It works just excellently, and I've just loved the Dalek bits in this episode, and also the scene where Eccleston's kind of telling off the Dalek, like, why don't you just die? And then Dalek's like, you would make a good Dalek. It's such a good scene, and probably Eccleston's best. It works so well. It's such a good idea written by Rob Shum. The only part I don't like is Rose. That pretty much goes for all of Series 1 and Series 2. I just can't stand it. I know some people say, oh, she wasn't as bad in Series 1. I don't care. She gets on me tits. I can't stand her at all. But aside from her, I'm not a fan of the Dalek kind of going a bit, emotional, not killing Rose. But it does kill itself in the end when it realises it's impure, so I can forgive that. It's still an amazing episode, and that's why it's my favourite New Who episode, and comes in at number 3. At number 2, we have the excellent and partly underrated Power of the Daleks. Oh, this is a good one. Like, Power of the Daleks is really, really good. It's a shame it's completely missing. Like, no episodes survive, only a couple of clips, and it's a shame because it's such a good introductory story of Patrick Troughton, because he's my favourite Doctor if you don't know, and it's so good. And the Daleks are actually scary in this. I mean, I know the Daleks have been scary in other episodes, but I find this is kind of their scariest episode. They're just like a couple of them at the beginning, but slowly, as they're given more technology, you see more of them appearing. And it's creepy. It's creepy how they just multiply right under the colony's nose. Then when they go on the killing spree at the end, it's just the perfect Dalek story. It's how Daleks should be done. There's only a couple of them, they multiply, then they kill. That's how Daleks go. Oh, and they deceive, obviously, and that's what they do to be able to get all the equipment to build themselves in the first place. And also, Patrick Troughton's performance is absolutely brilliant. And same goes for Anneke Wills and Michael Craze, who played Ben and Polly. They put in a great performance too, and it's just overall an absolutely amazing story, which I loved a bit. And even though it's lost, I can just watch the reconstruction whenever I want, because I don't get bored. Because it's such a good story, and that's why it comes in at number 2. So at number 1, we have Genesis of the Daleks. Now, I bet you're all screaming at your computer screens right now going, Dylan, you bastard. Why is this at number 1? It's an overrated piece of shit, yada 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 yada. Would I say this is a perfect episode? No. Its main flaw being that there's not enough Daleks, and as a Dalek story, I think Power of Daleks actually works better, but in terms of quality, this is better, if only slightly, and that's why I'm putting it at number 1, because it's a great story. I know, like, maybe I wouldn't put it at number 1, but then most people wouldn't. But still, it's worthy of number 1, unlike something like Day of the Doctor, which is just overrated. This is actually just a really well written story with great ideas, great action scenes. It flows perfectly with really good pacing. Michael Wisher as Davros is excellent. Tom Baker owns the role. There's some philosophical questions posed. Just like in Dalek, how, like, you would make a good Dalek. Like, do I have the right? They're kind of on the same level, and kind of a Dalek story which poses some really interesting questions. And it's just a really well done episode overall, which just adds so much of the Dalek lore, which was really been explored in Big Finish, and is really, really interesting, especially with, like, Davros growing up in the propaganda-filled society of the Carleds, yeah, and it's just such a bloody good story. I don't care if you think it's overrated. I think it's worthy of number 1, even if it's only number 8 on my top 10. It's something which is worthy of that kind of praise, okay? Unlike Day of the Doctor, which really isn't. I wouldn't even put it in my top 50. I know a lot of people are going to hate me for that, but I don't care, because I'm allowed my own opinion, and Genesis comes in at number 1 because it's a bloody great story. So have a nice day, and see you back next time in another video.